guys.
All right.
How does it feel to kind of finally have this underway and have it done and kind of get started now?
Listen, I'm in awe of the turnout today. This is really impressive. And it just shows you the commitment and the support that this program has. And I'm thrilled today.
Kellie, Gabe DeArmond with Power Mizzou 24/7. Laird talked a lot, even before the process, about the commitment that was needed to the program. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is probably the first process you've gone through where NIL and things like that are such a big part of it. What part did that play in your conversations?
Yeah, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, it's a big part because that's where we're at in athletics. And so I had to feel and know that the support was going to be there for women's basketball, and support not just in being here and showing up, but the support financially. And give us an opportunity to be competitive in not just our league, but region and then national.
Obviously, the answer to that was you felt it was there, but what kind of gave you that confidence throughout the process?
Well, a little research. I think for me, I knew where I felt like we needed to land, where we needed to be, and I think that's where we're going to be. And I think, as the landscape changes, and because I feel like now something's new every week. Right? if things change and there needs to be a different approach, I feel really, really confident in our administration to be able to figure out how to keep us competitive.
Kellie, what have the past couple of weeks been like, talking to players? What have those conversations been like for you?
It's the past couple of weeks you're balancing trying to have conversations with your own team who also had their spring break. So we're a little behind in terms of being able to have meetings done with our players because they needed their spring break. But that put us probably a little bit further along with getting on the horn with transfer portal kids, high school kids, a few coaches, and then a priority of mine was to be able to solidify my staff. So having those phone calls as well has been important. And we're not finished. We still have some staff members we're bringing on board, but to have the three that we have was really critical.
You mentioned high school kids. Obviously, you've been in the Midwest before at Missouri State. What did you kind of learn about recruiting this state and recruiting this region?
Yeah, I think one, the style of basketball that you see in this region really fits me. So a lot of high school and club teams in this region I want to recruit from. I like this style, and I think that it's going to be a really good thing. I think getting back here has been great to be able to connect with some of those people, some of those folks, some of the players in the game.
Coach, sorry. Thank you, Kellie. When you talk about the high school, obviously Nikki Kirstein is still committed to Mizzou. Have you gotten a chance to talk with her, and what do you think she brings to this program for next year?
Yes, I've talked to Nikki. I talked to her last week, and then I actually talked to her last night. Put all of my assistant coaches on the phone with her. I think we're going to try to catch up at some point and really visit. But I think, this is a kid coming from a winning program. I think that is important. Winners know how to win. And when you can pull in players who are coming from winning programs, I think that's really important.
Kellie, Carl McAndrew from Media Tribune. Just on the revenue standpoint a little bit more, what is a reasonable timeline for this team to be able to compete at the levels that you expect them to be and that you want to be competing at?
I want to do it this year, right? I mean, I think we have such a good core. And we've had a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement and a lot of interest from some really talented portal players. So I'm not trying to look years down the road. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do this. And I think the landscape now, you get the right people, you can make some waves pretty quickly.
Would you have entertained a job in another league? Like, how important was it to be back in the SEC?
I would have. I think, SEC, the positives are very familiar with high schoolers, right? Teams, coaches. The con is it's hard to move up in this league. And everybody knows it. In any sport, it's hard to move up in this league. So for me, I love the fact that we're moving the SEC because I have the familiarity that this is the school I would have chosen to learn.
When did that moment kind of strike? When in the past years have you kind of come to that realization?
Yeah, this year, I'll be honest with you, there was a lot that I enjoyed about this year. I didn't have that tightness in my neck, that stress will give you sometimes. It was the most stressful thing I had to do was first grade homework. I didn't do it. I get my child to do first grade homework. I loved the chance that we had to spend with our kids this past year. It was amazing, and I'll cherish it forever. Getting back in the studio and talking basketball was really good for me in terms of reminding me what I'm good at. But the SEC tournament was like a recruiting visit. Oh, I loved it. Wanted to be back there. And that was almost the cherry on top for me. It was just this big build-up of making a decision that if the right call came, and it was right, and it had to check so many boxes. I was so picky. But if I could get the right one, I wanted to do it, and this one I'm thrilled.
What is it about this job, this role, that makes this the right one, that made this one you want to take?
Yeah, I think, our athletic director and administration, I cannot emphasize that enough. It's somebody that you want to work for, somebody that you want to be around, and somebody that you want success for them as well. Also knowing the core of student athletes that we have, I think that was important because those are the type of kids I would recruit. And also knowing the staff that I would be able to hire here, that was also a huge factor in my decision. Then also just really believing in the opportunity that this program has for growth. Now, like I said, it's hard to move up in the SEC, but I think we can do it. I really do. So just believing in this opportunity.
We'll
Kellie,
take
I'm
two more,
curious,
guys.
did you get to talk to Sophie Cunningham at all? I know she was a big part of the process. What was your conversations with her?
Yeah, she was on an interview, so she asked a few questions. I've known Sophie for a long time. Other than a few games per year, always pulled for her. She was tough to play against, great competitor, but somebody that we're really proud of. And I'm really excited about just having the opportunity to sit down, visit with her, and honestly pull for her this summer in a different capacity, right? As with a sisterhood, so to speak.
Last one, guys. Coach.
The more that's coming back, or what's the balance of having those players and then also making upgrades to the roster?
Yeah, I think there has to be a buy-in from our returners that they want to be good, and they have to understand that's going to take some more pieces. And I think they want that. They want to succeed. They want to be elite. So I think they have to understand it starts with them. It really does. And then as we add, we're bringing them into the core. We're not going to the training. We're not going there. We're bringing each player into our core. And that's where I got a close thing about that, right? Just that's where we can really make some headway and move forward.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.